Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 10th of March 1977. Now, before I get into the gameplay, I just want to mention that there has been what I would assume is a patch update for the beta release. This, I think, is the 0.8.59 update. Now, I did have a look around to see whether there was any release notes, but I couldn't find any. So I'm just assuming what the devs have done is patched bugs that they've had reported. Hopefully, there won't be any detrimental effects on the actual gameplay. But before we get into making any major changes, as usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys give me so much to think about, and that's what I like about your comments. You kind of nudge me in certain directions and get me to think about certain details. And sometimes your comments do align with the way I'm thinking, and that's the first one I want to talk about, which is radio, because of course we need to start improving our loyalty a little bit. It's 44%, but it's not brilliant. And now my original idea was to put a radio station in here, but I was kind of looking at the options, and one thing I'm not too sure about is actually the range of a radio, whether it covers the whole map or just areas. So I'm going to conduct a little bit of experiment based on your advice. Probably the best place to do it will be over here in Colville, because we've got quite a lot of unemployed people. So putting a radio station over here will make life a little bit easier, just to show you. So we've got 431 people unemployed. So, and what I'm looking at is this corner here. However, what I'm going to do is go for a modded radio station, because I think the vanilla ones are just so big. And I think it's broadcasting here, isn't it? I think that is, wow, that's tiny. We could put that up in our starter town if we need one, but State Opera Ballet, where on earth did I get that from? Wow. I think that might be, yeah, 230. So what I'm inclined to go for is this small radio station here. I mean, that's not bad, actually. If I could get it in on this corner here, maybe down a little bit, because we got, so I'm hoping that the pollution won't affect their workforce. So I'd say we can get that just in on this corner here like this. Wow, that worked out quite well. What I need to do is get the, I think we'll put, I can put a footpath into there. In fact, I put a footpath across to there, and there. It'd be nice if I could get one out here as well, like that. And then we're just, oops, I keep going down to this corner here where it used to be for acceptance. So that will give us a radio station. I think what I'll do is I'll build this and see how far the influence goes out. Of course, we're going to need to bring in some electronics to get people to get radios, because I think at the moment, so we've got 5 households with people in this block who've got a radio. So we're going to need to bring in some electronics. So we got some people there enthusiastic with respect to a radio. Now, another suggestion I got was about upgrading my rail construction office here, but I've actually got a different approach for this, because one of the things I was looking at here is that this is really in the wrong place, and as someone pointed out in the comments, I really need a supply option. So what I'm planning of doing is actually building a full-size rail construction office out here. Once we finish this section, we've got the line come out this way. Because what I'm kind of considering is building one big enough that will have all the necessary resources, because we'll be able to get the steel from over here once this is connected. We got bricks over here. Gravel could be a bit of an issue, but one of the things I could do is we got our gravel yards up here. And one thing I'm actually considering is building a gravel offload yard down here, so in order to try and speed up the building in this area. So maybe if I put a rail construction office somewhere in this area, it might work, and that's something we're going to work on going forward. Now, somebody also mentioned about setting up a meat distribution office, and I've made a start on that by actually this office here now. And you can see here what I've done is I've centralized all the meat distribution now in here, because I think that's on a natural path coming down here. What the suggestion actually was is that I put in meat stores, and I think that's something I will be doing going forward if I can get it all together. especially as we're going to need quite a lot of meat out here for our steel town here. But that's another project. The other idea I'm thinking of, based on a suggestion, someone said that I should run more rail links into my industrial areas. Well, these industrial areas weren't really planned for rail links, but I do intend to put more rail links in. But one thing I am considering, because we got a fairly substantial meat production here, which is going pretty well, although I'm having a few problems with this thing here because it doesn't seem to want to connect. But you can see we got 68 tons of meat in here. What I am considering is, because we got our small town here, is possibly running a rail line into here so that we can put in a cargo station here, because eventually out here we're going to put more food production. So if I put a rail yard here for distribution of food and meat, and possibly eventually that will also connect up with possibly clothes. In fact, I could consider running a rail line across the top, or maybe I'm just getting a bit too carried away. But what I'm thinking is a meat food distribution center from here, which can then be used to send down to, say, like Colville here, which is going to get a lot bigger. But one thing we'll need to do is consider how we get it to go that way. But then again, I could literally develop because the distance there, we could set another terminal up on this side as well. Another comment related to oil, and I do really want to get out here and start to get this oil field online, but I'm starting to think that what I may have to do is get these roads built and effectively create a starter town out here on its own, which is going to be not dependent on our area over here for resources. So, and if you're wondering what I mean by a starter town, if you watch my Four Corners series, you'll be aware that I've been building these little self-contained villages that basically feed and support themselves with their own power supplies. This might be an option to be able to speed up this process here. So I think that's the comments out the way. If I remember any more, I'll mention them as I go along. Now, the one thing I do want to do is get this area finished, because this is going to be my supplementary coal area. We need to keep this crew pushing out this way. And of course, the other thing I would like to make a start on is planning Steel Town over the other side of the map. But first things first, we do need to, I'm just going to speed the game up now actually, because I need to keep an eye on what these guys are doing. Yeah, you've got an unfinished road there. What I would like to do is possibly keep asphalting in some of these roads here. I think we can put you in there. And I think we'll keep everybody concentrated at the moment. And we're just going to get you in there. And hopefully the knife edge road crew in here. That's actually changed. That texture's changed. Is that new? That looks different. Interesting. I'm sure it didn't look like that because it used to just go back to the brown indicator there. But it's almost like we've got a different texture here to say that this is an asphalt road. Look at that. These guys are on the case straight away. The other thing I want to check is this road crew and see what these guys are working on. You know, you've still got 4 roads here, but I think most of it is still in this area as well. Oh no, you're just picking up all the footpaths and stuff around here, aren't you? So you got unfinished roads, unfinished footpaths. Again, I'd like to just keep asphalting in this area here. I think we're... Let's cause a bit of confusion and mayhem there. And just add this on here. I think we'll have to put in the Colville main construction so that gets built pretty quickly. That's going to disrupt our residents here. They're going to have to kind of walk round in a circle here. So we've got that there. I want to see what... I think these guys were running out of jobs. Oh no, they've still got quite a lot. Because what I'm trying to do is get this second coal processing plant online. Because I think that's going to make a big difference as well. And of course the other thing we need to do is make the money be able to pay for the train when it comes here. Just need to also check my rail construction. What are you currently working on? Yeah, working on, well, around here. They're still kind of trying to fill in this area here. And we do need to... Why have you got a connection here? Why not? I don't think I've electrified this section here. This is the one downside when you build track in stages. Is picking up all the bits that you've missed. Well, just get that put in there. I think actually what we'll do is we'll assign you to get you build that, and then what we do need them to do is do the back curve here into here. I'm not convinced I'm going to use this thing. I suppose what I could do is just give it a go. Kind of, this is crossing not allowed. Just hook this. And try and get that built as well. And I think up here, everything, we don't need that built. This needs to be built. This is finished. This needs to be built in here. And of course, we've got to build this section of track round here. And once all that is being built in, we can then start to push the rail construction yard out here. And of course, we'll have all the fun of trying to put the signals in here as well, which I think is going to be pretty interesting. Of course, we've got a massive traffic jam here. Just want to see what these guys over here are working on, because I'm kind of half running out of jobs. Yep, he's actually completely out of jobs. Wow. Okay, we got this bridge built. Well, these guys have been busy. They've built both bridges at the same time. I think at the moment, while I'm doing some planning, is we can start getting this crew working on this area here, which I've been I designed a very long time ago. Start with that, so that we get some more ore processing in here. Because eventually what we're going to need to do is bring on these other quarries. So if we can build this through and get all this ready for when the rail connection comes, that would be brilliant. Because if I can get this second... Well, we'll probably need another quarry here as well. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll come here and we'll get a couple more quarries going, although we might need a power supply out here as well. Come to forget, I've got this gas station. I think we'll put that in as well, and we'll get that in there. I'm not exactly too sure how far. I think this substation may cover the whole area. Let me just check. Go back to the traditional heating. Yeah, I think he would cover that. The only possible problem we'll have is over there, this one. So we may have to run some power supplies out this way. But of course, the next thing I'm going to need to do is think about running the power out here anyway. So we've got this working here. Wow, these guys have built this in really quickly. Okay. Give you the radio station. And I think, well, maybe it's time to... Of course, we're also building out this area here. So these guys have got quite a lot to do at the moment. So that's good. The main thing... this road crew is... Wow, they finished that already. Okay. You guys are going to be super efficient. I think what I'd like to do is put a footpath in down to there, so we got a pedestrian way through here for when I actually do the roads here. In fact, I'm a bit inclined. I don't think you're meant to be able to do that, but I'll take it. We got a footpath there, and just gonna put in that bit of road there. Thank you, get save game. Right, it looks like we're going to need the asphalt out here. But I think the more I can fill this area in, I think the faster things will go. I think that also applies up here. I've kind of been putting in roads up here. These are actually growing, so if I can get in another little... Yeah, I think if we come in... Actually, if I put it between there and there, that should get picked up by... And we'll get these guys working on it here. And you guys should pick it up as well. We can just keep filling in these roads here. Right, I think we're in a position now that I've everything working reasonably well. The only possible problem is the food supply up to here. It's not as good as it should be. Although I think these are the guys that deliver the food up here. And we got a truck sat here doing nothing, so I just want to check the delivery to Foodville Shopping Centre. Push you to 100%. Not exactly sure why you're delivering to so much. I do really need to sort out these distribution offices, but you're moving the crops. Right, we're on April. Let me just... I think I'm still a little bit nervous with respect to the changes with the update. That's why I'm kind of spending a little bit more time checking things than I would normally do. Right, I think we're now in a position to start looking at coming out here. Now, I haven't put any vehicles in here. In fact, what I might need to do is put... that could be an issue, couldn't it? Well, right, what we're going to do is we're going to put together our town centre here. And I think this would be a good point to work on. So what we're going to need is... I'm probably going to build a traditional city here, because this would be our main town centre. Let me just see. Food and alcohol. Actually, it's not this, isn't it? It's not state infrastructure, residential area. Where's the universities? Where's all the food and that gone in here? There it's food and shopping. Grocery store, old corner. What we got here? These are shopping centres. I'd like a fairly large shopping centre out here. We could always build one of these. I've built one of these for a very long time. And what's the only downside with this one is it's got plenty of supplies of food and clothes and electronics. It's always been a bit shaky with respect to meat. So we'd have to put in, so if we build a kind of big shopping centre here, what we'd have to do is put a meat store on it to ensure that there's a nice supply of meat here. I think if we can put this, say, about here. How did I know that? Right. I've got a problem. So we can't design this until I've got what we're going to have to do is bring out a small construction office. That's kind of messed up my plans, isn't it? Tiny construction office here. My instinct is to put a small construction office about here. What do you want? You need 2.5 tons of steel. I think what we'll do is we'll just use our standard one like that. But of course what we're going to do is go for a mud road like that. And then we'll have to... I mean, it's a long way out for these guys, but hopefully they will build it. I should have a bit of an oversight, really. We're a little bit constrained at the moment with respect to what we can build. Let me see. In fact, at the moment we've got construction office there. We're going to need to think the same way out here, aren't we? Because this is pretty hilly. So I think we're going to do exactly the same out here. Put another little dinky, just to zoom in. This is going to be the town centre. So if I put this about here, and again, we're just going to hook in a mud road here, and we'll probably be completely out of range of... I know it's going to be a long haul for these guys. That's the reason why I've gone for the small construction office, because get you out there, get you going. So it looks very much like this part's just going to have to be a fix my mistakes problem session. How are we doing here? I mean, truthfully, we should have the workforce going here quite nicely. One thing I would like to do is we've got this here. I put a refrigerated truck in here that was basically to do the meat exports, and keep going up here to find the economy. I will get the hang of it eventually. So at the moment we're exporting fuel, coal, power, boards, gravel, bricks and food. So we're not really exporting clothes at the moment, actually. Last month. Yes, we are getting some clothes exports, which is helping our things, and some meat exports as well. Obviously this month's been a little bit thin, but then we're only on the 4th of May at the moment, so will take a little while to kick in. I mean, things are going okay. Of course, what we're importing is electro components, steel and iron, simply because those are the resources we need to lay track. Now, what I would like to do here is, I don't know who's actually exporting the clothes, but ideally what I'd like to do is bring all the clothes distribution into this area here, because this is where all our clothes workshops are. The other thing I'm also thinking is that it might be a bit more efficient, because this clothing factory can produce 1.2 tons of clothes a day with a maximum workforce. These here can produce a fraction with a workforce of 10. So I'm wondering if I can build this up. I could probably take away this clothing factory here, so they all go into here, and then maybe we could take this one down because it's a bit close to the residences, and then we'll still leave the fabric factory here, and then we'll bring the fabric up to here, and we'll get this kind of going a bit more efficiently, because as you can see here, this is 0.2 and 0.2 into 12. This is 6 times more efficient, but then they need 80 workforce. Okay, we're going to stay with the way it is at the moment. New vehicle type available. Well, that looks pretty impressive. What we got here? I guess it's a dumper. You just see. There it is there. 75 carrying 12 tons of gravel. That's not bad, actually. I think it's faster than Where's our current one? Yeah, I mean, it's 3 kilometers an hour faster than the current one at 99,000. The only thing I can think of using these for is possibly moving the quarried stone. Life is getting expensive. Another thing I'm going to need to start thinking about is a vehicle production shed as well. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was talking about clothes distribution. I think we got a meat truck here. Trying to find who's distributing clothes. Let me just see. Because at the moment the clothes distribution is a little bit kind of all over the place. And what I'd like to do is bring it all into one area. It says Foodville clothes here. These like here we've got clothes here, clothes warehouse, and you're distributing to the corner market in Colville. And so it's like this one here. This says food and clothes. Where is this? See, this is up here. Which is a little bit kind of wrong. It's probably the polite way of saying it. Let me just see. Really and truthfully, this office here should only be moving food and clothes up to here. Keep it going. I think what I'm probably going to need to do is get some covered holes in here. Which means spending money, which I don't want to spend at the moment. I think we're just going to labour on at the moment with what we've got. And then eventually I'll sort out the situation. As long as it doesn't, we don't develop a problem. Let me just see. Oops, wrong one. I think at the moment we got kind of enough. Everything's going okay. What have we got here? This is a meat truck. Oh, wow. Okay, guys. I'm starting to think I need to get this sorted. Okay, so we got that bit there. What are you working on now? I think I'm just going to focus very much on you've laid tractor there and there and there. So what we need to do is get you working on that line there. And we'll have to do that line as well. We built that one. Okay. Curious to see whether I think he's run out of workforce. This is another reason why I want to move this away, because we don't have the workforce in this area to really drive a really fast moving rail construction yard. In fact, seeing I've got stuck, let's just work on the rail construction yard here. We've got a nice length of track here where we could take a branch off, put the rail construction yard in. The alternative is over here, but to me this is a bit of a dead zone because it's near the power thing. So we're not going to expand the city this way. So let me just put in. Next question is, where is the rail construction yard? Okay, game, where do you hide the... Here we are, construction offices. Rail construction office here. So what we're looking at is possibly be nice to get a direct line in there, but we could run a direct power supply from there anyway. Should be nice to put it that way round, because the gravel could come from this direction. So say for argument's sake we can put this here. No, that's a bit close to there. So if I can put it, say, out about here, like that. That went quite nice quickly. And well, we only need standard track, base concrete track, and we don't need any fancy back loops or anything like that, because the rail construction train will build this whole line through to here. So all we need to do is just come out like that, come through here like this, up to here. And if we put a crossover just there, it should be able to come off here, down to there like that. And sometimes the track snapping, so that would give us a ability for the construction trains to go their own way. I mean, this is a little bit short if we're running long trains. Am I happy with that? Because we got no option to cancel at the moment. What I'm going to do is take you out that way. And we're going to come from here. Going to run along this way a little bit here. And then run you in there actually, like that. Oops. I think if we can kind of run it that way, that means we can have a long train in this section here. But we've got that built now. We're going to need a asphalt road running straight back to there. Actually, cancel again. Sorry. Went over here to cancel. Let me just cancel that again. What we're going to do is, because this is going to be a, don't really want the buses delivering directly into the station, so which bus stop are we using? What we'll do is we'll put bus stop here. Grab that in a little bit like that, and then we'll hook you out. I just love you, game. Well, when you get a problem like this, what you do is you relay the road like that, and then what we'll do is we'll put the got a small bus platform there. We'll put a bus. I'm not going to run track out the back, so we can put a bus platform about there. That gives us there. We'll accept the roads, and then, oops, and then what over here? We're going to need a small aggregate unloading. Where's the, where is our, oh, here it is, cargo and storage. So I'm sure that it used to be duplicated up here. So we got here storage here, which is related to metallurgy. We got a small aggregate store. Of course, the road's going to have to be that way round. So we're going to need to put, if I put this in, say like that, and what we can do is be a little bit cheeky. If I can find the cargo and storage, harbour for load, train loading, truck aggregate, we need unloading, truck aggregate unloading. And as I say, what I want to be is a little bit cheeky here with respect to this, so that we can bring the trucks down here and unload to about there. That means we can hook a road through to about there, and then Now, the other thing we're also going to need in here is storage. Got here aggregate unloading, small aggregate, that's conveyors. Dry bulk cargo, general cargo. What I'm looking for is, my instinct is to put a medium store in here. Maybe come in from this side like that, because we're going to need to, I'd like to kind of angle it a little bit. Actually, if we put the electro components on this side, if I can get that like that. Game doesn't want to play. As what's up with you? Can't build. There's a, I think we got a problem with the leveling here. Okay, we're gonna have to kind of come out like this then, I think. We'll have to come out a bit like that. It's kind of flipping backwards and forwards because of the effect of the leveling. And then we can hook a road out through here. And we'll just do that there. Just accept all that lot. And then, so that means we can deliver the steel, bricks, prefabs, everything into a single warehouse here. Or to work this here, we've got workers there. Anything we need left now is a place to put the electro components as well, because that's all we need, isn't it? Let me just check. Yeah, boards, electro components, gravel. Although I'm a little bit worried about the single link here. Because this will pull the gravel. I don't think it's going to make that much difference. This should pull in the gravel it needs. And then what we're going to need is general cargo. What I'm looking for, getting electric components. Got a small warehouse here that we can probably just put in here. This is just going to hold the electro components. So I'll put you there. And then we're just run you out. I think we'll just keep the roads separate for the moment. And what that will become is our main rail construction office here, which I think will work once all these roads have been built in. So that's going to be our next long-term project. And of course, what we can do is put a road through to there, should we need it. And of course, to hook up everything in this area. We can get bricks from there. The big one's going to be prefabs. I mean, there is an option that we could bring a rail line off of here to deliver into here should we need it. So we could strike off. So we got this line here. This kind of comes through here. We're only going to run short trains into here. In fact, I could probably just rework this a little bit. Just see. Take that out there. And we'll run you forward a little bit like that. And then, if necessary, we can got a rail line there. So we could kind of pick off from here like that, run back to here. Like that. And then we'll do the same. A little bit messy. And we can come here and run that into there. So what that will do is give us an option to deliver prefabs or something into here should we need it. But if we don't need it, we can just disconnect it and just run the train into here as normal, because this warehouse here eventually will become a general distribution center for food and clothes. Although this doesn't seem to have any clothes in it. I have a problem here. I think the problem at the moment is that I need to possibly drop that down a little bit and then increase you a little bit like that. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, brain went out to lunch there. Apologies for that. Right. I thought I allocated you. What are you guys doing? Just let the game run again. But a little bit worried about the fact that this says it's got no power connection here. Wonder if that's due to the fact that there's no connection between, or is it the fact that this isn't been built yet? Let me just see. And that's been connected to there. I'm wondering if that is a dead zone because it's got no direct rail connection, or whether it needs this connection here. Just see, we need to get those built. I think I'm just gonna, and we need to build out this way yet as well. In fact, I'll just allocate those. I'm a little bit worried about that. That could be an issue. Right, I've also realised that I'm starting to run out on time on this video, so we're just going to have a little bit of a Skype round to see what's going on. I think this is all under control. How's my road crew? They've probably got absolutely nothing to do. Yep. I think we're on the 2nd of July at the moment. I think we can sneak in a little bit of a asphalting up here and possibly out here. We'll get that new type of vehicle. What was that? We got new type of vehicle. So we got a RMD 19256 refrigeration and cistern and a flatbed. We can get these bits of road built in here as well. That will, yeah, I think where I was distracted, I kind of missed an opportunity here to get things done. Actually, what I might do is we'll just try and get in, try and be a bit cheeky here as well. Let's see if we can get those 3 roads built. Just must admit, I do like this new texture. Now, let's just check out here and see. We've got another little section of road built here. I think we could probably get in that bit built there. Get these guys on it as well. See, these guys have got no real work either. Where are you building that? Okay, well, I think what we're going to probably need is a proper road crew out here. Let me just see. What we're probably going to need out here is a paver and roller so that we can push the road through into here. In fact, we got 1.6 million. Okay. How many open holes have you got here? You've got a pile of them. Lots of, not many dumpers. Okay. What we're going to do, what I'm going to do is send him back to down here so that he can pick up a paver and a dumper. Sorry about running around the map here. I think once this is finished, I think what we'll probably do is push out a road crew up here as well. Oh, wow. We got this built. Okay. Final bit of planning. In fact, something I should have done. And that will definitely be the end of the video. What I want to do is possibly get in another silo here, so that this farm can work to a silo. We're also going to need some distribution offices here, and I think we're going to go storage. It'd be brilliant to get that in. Oh, look at that. Now that would be really good if I could get that in on this corner here with a direct feed into that livestock farm. I know it's a duplication on the warehouse, but I think that might work. We could do something like that, and we'd need another cargo station. We could get cargo no on it that way, something like that there. Now the question is, can I get the road? Yeah, look at that. Oh, that'd be brilliant, because what that will mean is we will have a direct feed into this livestock farm. Got absolutely no crops in it at all. Which means we've run out of crops. Yeah, I don't think. Let me just check these. Foodville main silo. And this is below 30%. Because I did that to ensure that we got a crop supply going down to here. But I think, considering it's July, I think what we might be able to do is just drop that down to 0, and then those guys will go out there. And just to finish off, we're gonna build a couple of distribution offices again. Let's just pause. My instinct is to... Let me just come in here again. Distribution offices. My instinct is to actually go for the full-blown, what we call it. Put a distribution office in there. I can angle it a little bit that way. Although that's going to crowd on that road junction. I think what we might do is... Everything's getting a little bit compact here. Don't want to waste this space with respect to fields. So if we put a distribution office there, and possibly we get another one on this corner, get another one here. I know they're a little bit far away from the... Actually, we could put a distribution office in there, couldn't we? That'd be nice. I think we'll put one in here. We got a bit of space here. And what that distribution office can do is work... Actually, sorry, I'm kind of putting them everywhere at the moment. So I'm kind of looking for the ideal location. Actually, could we put it that way around? I think we'll put one there. And then we'll just get rid of this one. And we'll just cancel that road connection there. Yeah, I think if we've got a distribution office here, and actually... Yeah, if we got one here and one here, that can work to this silo here in relation to the farm. And then what we're going to need to do is put some fields out here eventually, once we got things going. But what it means, what we're going to have to do is equip this farm in preparation for going forward. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to auto search, take off the auto search, and you're going to take over 2, 3, 4, 5 at the moment across the top here, like that. And what that would do is this will mean that this farm can then concentrate on its fields here. This farm can then concentrate on here. And then what we can do is adjust it as and when we expand out this way. But this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.